Okay, quickly, sorry for the different setting back and forth, but yeah, this is just temporary for this video for the people that watch me all the time. It's just temporary, but hey, you got to see me sitting down for a lot of people that want to see me sitting down. So, this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, I just gotta say something. This needs to be said. I don't think anybody's gonna say it, but it needs to be said. Roshi, bro. Roshi needs to go to a brothel for a good solid. Better yet, we need to bring the brothel to him. I think this is the solution to Roshi's problem. Bring a brothel, take them to the hyperbolic time chamber with Roshi, and let him live out his fantasies in one day's time for a year in there. Because my gosh, I'm not gonna lie. Because we've seen Roshi do some creepy things. I mean, borderline just like nasty shit, yo. Like, if you watch original Dragon Ball especially, like, if you haven't seen original Dragon Ball, then you don't know how bad Roshi can get with the perversion. I mean, he was trying to spy on Bulma while she was using the toilet. I remember he used the shrinking power to get inside the toilet so he could look at her pull her pants down. But this episode, it reminded me just how creepy that can be. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, I'm laughing, but at the same time, it's like, it looked like Roshi straight up wanted to rape Yuding in this episode. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was funny, but it also felt weird to laugh at it because, hey, it's anime. Why not, right? But what he's doing, if it was, you know, set in a different way or in a different light, it wouldn't be funny because, yeah, a little bit on the creep side there. This week's episode of Dragon Ball Super, for the most part, it was a contained story, but also getting, I believe, what is the last member of the Universe Survival team that we have for Universe 7. So I believe that was, you know, what this episode helped to establish at the very least, getting Tien. But it was a self-contained story also at the same time with this girl that she wanted revenge. It felt classic Dragon Ball, and honestly, it felt as though they've been using the opportunity to, you know, make these episodes callbacks to original Dragon Ball. Just so much of it, it felt like the vibe you got from original Dragon Ball. Now, I doubt Toriyama has any input really in these episodes. I think these are more so like Toei Animation standalones, but it got the soul of Toriyama's original writing from Dragon Ball. Again, all of the Roshi perverted jokes, seeing Tien and Buff Roshi making all of these characters that was so freaking awesome in OG Dragon Ball have a little spotlight and a little bit of relevancy. And at the same time, I think this episode, well, not only did we get Tien, but we also got Roshi. It was to finish up, okay, let's get the last few members we need for the team, and let's move along. I ain't gonna lie, I thought Goku was gonna try and kill Roshi to a certain degree when he was about, you know, charging up the Kamehameha. I'm like, bro, you realize that's Master Roshi, right? You realize his power level is not even, what was it, like maybe a fourth or a fifth of Raditz's power level in buff form? Like, you could have killed him. So when he charged up the Kamehameha, I'm like, you sure about that, bro? I think one of the things that was the best part of the episode, and it was a small part, and maybe it's just my own bias, you know, inputting in there, was seeing the Saiyans in Universe 6. I believe they were on Universe 6, forgive me if I'm mistaken, but we saw Kaba, we saw Kale, and Khalifa. And I believe that's how you pronounce all their names, because it's been a big hoopla, and I just made a video about this yesterday because there was leaks or whatever about there not only being one female Saiyan, but two female Saiyans, and it's been confirmed because in this episode, which again, kind of got me really excited, we got to see both of them. We see the boss chick, I think that's Kale, and the other one is Cauliflower, vice versa, but we see the boss one with the freaking spiky crazy hair that we saw in last week's episode that she was, you know, just chowing down and shit like that. She's there, and Kaba, and like, yo, Kaba, for being a little dude, I respect him, because he's going in there, you see all these thugs and shit like that, which again, are those all Saiyans? Like, is this like a big Saiyan gathering, or is it just like some Saiyans hanging out with some no-names? And it's like, that's kind of cool, because we didn't really get much Saiyans in Dragon Ball as a whole. Like, if you don't count the Bardock special, what Saiyans have we really gotten to see? You know what I'm saying? So it's nice to just see, even if they're regular, even if they're weaklings or whatever, it's nice to see a nice little gathering of a bunch bunch of different Saiyans. Granted, again, they probably all weak. I mean, look, Kaba went Super Saiyan and they all shit themselves, but nevertheless, it was a nice little scene, and it seems as though as well, while we're gathering our fighters, we're also getting to see other people gathering their fighters, in particular Kaba, which I think Kaba should get a medal. Like, Champa should praise him because Kaba's bringing the heat. You bringing Saiyans, and then on top of that, if you know, which I don't know how the hell you don't know by now, what some of these people are going to be capable of, things is going to get legit. And on top of that, something that we seemingly are getting clarification, it might not be confirmed or whatever, but because we already know the one scared, again, I think that's Caulifla, yeah, anyway, the one that's scared, the female saying that like always looking timid or whatnot, we know based off the opening, the spoilers, for months upon months, what she's going to be capable of. Female Broly, bro. But now this episode was also in a way confirming that the other badass female, that's their female Saiyan, is going to seemingly have Super Saiyan transformation as well. But what I think is going to happen in prediction theory time, I think we're going to actually see her kind of potentially ascend to that particular point and maybe beyond, but I think she's gonna get shown up. I think she's gonna think, I'm a badass, bro, look at me, I could do Super Saiyan, and then Khalifa is gonna blow up with them Broly muscles and is gonna be insane. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, that was my favorite moment because aside from the progression we got, because pretty much the only thing that this episode progressed again is, oh, Tien finally decided to join, which, I don't know, it felt a little bit cliche after a while of people turning Goku down and then turning around and saying, oh, okay, after Goku helps them with a little bond. Not like Goku hasn't helped you in the past, Tien, right? Like, let's go back to OG Dragon Ball days and see, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like par for the course with a lot of these people, 17, like, initially saying no, and then eventually yeah. So it wasn't a big deal with that. Again, it was just like, let's recruit them. Still, the Roshi shit just kind of blew my mind. Like, bro, you were going to rape this girl. What the fuck is wrong with you? At the very least, we can say that he molested her. He just picked her up and he's like, oh yeah, let me put you in a miniskirt. Roshi, creepy. Just a bit creepy. But also something that I felt that this episode really showed, and it's going to be interesting to see how people react. I think they're going to take it in a comedic light, but you got to think for a second. Goku is turning into the biggest liar ever. And I'm curious how people are going to react because you got 18 is thinking she's getting money. Tien's thinking he's getting money. Like, a lot of people are being lied to. And then when they find out, how are they going to react to it? Are they just going to say, oh, that's our Goku? Or are they going to be pissed? Or when they find out the severity of the situation, which I'm imagining knee deep into the tournament, they're going to find out. I hope it's not the case that they go through the entire tournament and then at the very end it's like, oh, by the way, everyone's lives were at stake, just let me throw that last little bit of information. It's like, Goku's starting to look like a real big liar, which in a sense he's doing it for a good cause, but I'm kind of curious, like, for example, would he still be able to fly the Nimbus, the Quinto? Like, can he actually do it? Because he's lying, and he knows he's lying. It's not like, naive Goku that he doesn't even know anything. He knows what he's doing. So that was something that kind of caught my mind as well. It's like, Goku, you're a liar, bro. You're a liar. Also, some of the other cool bits from the episode, because again, it wasn't a standout episode. I think we got some really good and cool bits and callbacks to Dragon Ball and a little bit of advancement for like Universe 6's team as well as Universe 7's team. But like, it was nice to see Tien, going up against Roshi. I mean, you didn't. That was just like, we need a little subplot villain type of deal, so let's throw her in there. But she was worthless. Like, it was funny when all this shit was going on and her putting the talismans and stuff like that, which is also a callback to the talisman that was supposed to go on the seal to seal Zamasu away, the one that sealed King Piccolo and all that stuff away. So it was nice to get those callbacks, but it wasn't the greatest neither. I felt as though this episode, it was solid. I would say we could give it maybe the 6 to somewhere around there, because as a whole the plot of it was just some girl from the past wants revenge on Tien, which is like that's a filler plot if you ever heard it, but it's the other big things that surround it and the concept of we got more progression. And now I believe by the end of the episode we got 8 hours left until the Tournament of Power, so we're getting close to getting what we want, right? I'd imagine a couple more episodes and we're there. So I mean, 6 out of 10 for this episode. It was still a fine episode, especially like, yo, 2 female Saiyans. Do you understand how hype that is? Like, do you understand, for not even just for the story, which is going to be cool as shit to see these action pieces and whatnot, but for video games and merchandise and everything? I'm just excited to own. Let me get some Kale and Caulifla. Like, I need them in my life right now. This is going to be so cool. Really curious what you guys thought about the episode, though. How did you feel about Tien's dojo and his weakling subordinates? Is like, bro, none of them ain't gonna amount to shit. Although, if they really wanted to focus in, I guess they could have one student that is like a standout. Also, what do you think about Yuden? Is like, did anyone really care about Yuden? I really didn't. And what do you think about the 2 female Saiyans and Kaba with the Super Saiyan? Just like, oh, Tournament of Power, please come already. I need you in my life. And your overall thoughts of the episode? 6 out of 10, fine. It's like, Tournament of Power, though, it's coming. It's a coming, boy. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.